Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Dominions 5, and specifically, welcome back to Mekone. The nation's been out for a little while now. I am going to continue this series. I may skip ahead after this episode in order to kind of show off a little bit of late-age Mekone. I'm not sure if I want to go through the whole game or not. I may just go through the whole game. I mean, I like Dominions 5 enough that I'd be happy to play through it. I do want to start some new things pretty soon, though. That said, this might actually be a game that I lose. It's possible, just because I seem to have overextended myself a little bit. I am being assaulted by Hinnom on this side, have Kaidlasa over here, and of course I just lost in the attack on Niflheim. One interesting change. There was a new spell introduced that originally was only given to Archocephalae and one other nation. It's now been given to Mekone as well, and it is Sow Dragon Teeth. It's a in-combat spell. It costs 1 Earth Gem and requires 2 Earth. And it summons 5 Spartae, which are basically small golems with gleaming armor, the same kind of armor that our hoplites use, I believe, and magical spears. They require magical leadership, but so basically this is kind of another option besides conjuring elementals. I mean, you can, at level 5 summoning, you can summon earth elementals. They require 3 earth, and you only get 1 per earth gem. So the Sowing Dragon Teeth costs a little bit less magic and gives you more effects. So it might be a better solution for 2 earth mages. I think what I'm going to do is, I was planning to go down Alteration to level 5 in order to get Maws of the Earth and Iron Warriors. I think I may switch over to Enchantment, just to see what that spell is like, and also because in Enchantment is... I thought it was Enchantment. Where's the other... What school is our other national spell in? 1 second. Ah, no, it's Thaumaturgy. Gigantomachia is in Thaumaturgy. Interesting, because I don't necessarily want or need Thaumaturgy for much else. Okay, well, I'll kind of have to think about that. I may never cast Gigantomachia in this game. It's very high-level research, and it requires a whole lot of investment into Thaumaturgy, and Thaumaturgy does not help us much. I mean, we've basically got fire and earth magic. Level 4 gives us Gnome Lore. Gnome Lore is a nice spell. Level 3 gives us Augury. So those would be decent spells to have, but Communion doesn't help us. Prison of Fire is marginally useful. There are literally very few earth spells in Thaumaturgy at all. Melancholia is not terribly important. So, I just don't know. I just don't necessarily think that Thaumaturgy is really a good school. I'm not sure why Gigantomachia is in the Thaumaturgy. It's kind of a weird choice, and I think it basically means that it's not really going to be cast much at all, just because that's a whole lot of research for a single spell. It's a pretty good spell, but it's still just a single spell. I'm going to hit Construction level 6 first, then Alteration. I do want Alteration level 3 for Iron Skin, or possibly even level 4 for Temper Flesh. Destruction isn't bad. Curse of Stones also is not bad, but I think probably I'm just going to go to Alteration level 3, and then go down Enchantment to level 6, where I can get Sow Dragon Teeth. I can also get all these other Earth spells, which could be nice. This one, Riches from Beneath, might be very, very nice. It does require 5 Earth, but I can get to 5 Earth with Staffs of Elemental Mastery and Earth Boots. So you may notice my treasury is almost empty. I've set up production. I'm producing some hoplites here, still recruiting mages and slave troops here in Bright Woods. I may actually shift that production. Yeah, Mekone is already using up their production. I'm getting 2 giant hoplites and then as many slave hoplites as I can afford, because they are pretty solid troops, to be honest. I have a Polemarch here, Eramus, and I am forging some equipment for him. Chainmail of Displacement, Girdle of Might. I'm also forging another Dwarven Hammer to make forging in the future cheaper. I'd all set up Aramis' scripting once I've got an army for him. I'm taking this province back with Archiptolem's army. This army, with the 2 mages backing it up, throwing magma bolts and fireballs, is moving down into Hinnomite territory. I'm going to drop some defense here. I wish my province defense units were giants. That would be nice, but it might be a little bit unbalanced, I suppose. I do get some giant province defense in fort provinces, which is cool. It's interesting that I get fewer Ekdromos than I do hoplites. It's really kind of interesting. Oh, wait, no, I only get giant province defense. Do I only get giant province defense in my... No. It's just at high levels. You have to go up to high levels of fort province defense before you start getting Gigantes. Okay, so I'm going to end the turn. I'm collapsing my troops back onto Belmar, where I'm recruiting just Helot Peltasts because my resources here are abysmal. And from there, we are going to assess the situation and get ready to try and deal with Niflheim, which is being a real problem, honestly. Those Nifl Giants and Nifl Jarls, I need some kind of cold resistance. And I'm not sure where cold resistance comes from, to be honest. I mean, Flame Ward gives me fire resistance, but Winter Ward is what you need for cold resistance, which requires 2 water. So I'm going to need, like, water randoms from somebody, and I can only get 1 water random from Cyclopses. Yeah, at most I only ever get 1 water, so the whole protection from cold thing is going to be a bit of a challenge. I may have to forge some cold-resistant equipment for commanders and just basically go in with thugs or something. Nifl Jarls are really, really tough for individual units to take on. They're better with armies, but if you don't have any cold resistance, wouldn't be very good. I would definitely like to get a lab here so I could start pumping out mages there as well, because one possible solution to the problem is just drowning them in mages. Like, I could take these 3 guys up and have them throw fireballs to help. That would help significantly, but a little bit tough to do when my income is this low. What I need is I need to beat up Hinnom, take these provinces, and all of their plains where they have income, because that is how I will earn money. I also need to take Amphalia back. Not the swamp, but I need Amphalia back, so Niflheim might kind of have to wait for a while. In any case, let's end the turn. Okay, Niflheim has a new prophet. They have made their Nifl Jarl the prophet. In Shadowglade, a tribe of centaurs have attacked, and the centaurs won against my province defense, so they had 4 centaur commanders, 17 centaurs, and 21 satyrs, who actually did most of the killing and also took the only losses. Eurytos is a new famous hero, which is great. There was a battle in Gweladun where I attacked Hinnom. So that was this province here. My little army moved in. Looks like he did not run away. Just his Avite commander, 1 Avite, well, 1 Dawn Guard, who is weakened, and then a little bit of province defense. Archiptolemos is summoning Earth Power, and then is dropping Legions of Steel. So if you'll recall, I start off with 21 protection. When I drop Legions of Steel, it goes up to 23, which is a small bonus, but a significant one. I think this guy might still have 21. Yeah, 18, 22, 23. Still says 18, 22, 23, but his, yeah, armor value 26. You can see they've gone up by 3 each. And then Archiptolemos will support with magma bolts instead of going into melee. And that is pretty much the whole ball game. So, in Gweladun, I did lose 1 Helot Peltast, and that was all. In Myreni, I was attacked by Hinnom. And so what do we have here? So he's bringing out the Rephite warriors and a Kohen to lead the army. He's also got some Horites. And I, on the other hand, have a tiny bit of pretty pathetic province defense. So it's gonna go badly. Have I seen his blessing yet? You're not blessed. You are. Oh yeah, it's dark vision. That's right. I remember being confused that he had practically no bless. Yep, no casualties. Okay. So in Moreni, yep, no casualties whatsoever. In Sodorth, I was also attacked. Once again, no casualties. I did have a scout there who was killed. In Gold, in Melma, I was attacking them. And they've got what? They've got an Aha, a Nature Mage who is a disease healer. They've got an Avite Commander. They've got a few Avite Heavy Archers and some Province Defense, as well as one Horite Hunter. My evocations are doing very, very little because the enemy is so scattered. Very little except setting my own giants on fire, that is. But that's okay. Everything's going fine regardless. Kill him if you could. Alrighty. Okay, so did we take any casualties? Yes, I lost a hoplite. Probably, I lost a hoplite to friendly fire. That is kind of the problem. And in Gold Mountains, wow, a big old Hinnomite army ran over my province defense. Rephite warriors, a bunch of Markata archers and mercenary spearmen, a Kohan, a Horite shaman, several other commanders, Avite spearmen and swordsmen, Dawn guards. They brought the kitchen sink. Eurytos has fast casting ability. Fast casting ability. That's pretty cool. Can I see what that means? I mean, he was already a combat caster, I think, wasn't he? Yeah, he was already a combat caster. Okay, so here's like the main Hinnomite army, but they have plenty of other armies. I can't really push too hard because I've got to stop them. So down here, I'm going to keep recruiting human slave troops. Over here, this army is going to need to be ready to go out pretty quick. Eurymus can have those two items. The Chainmail of Displacement actually does not increase his protection practically at all. What it does increase is his defense. A lot. Like, it increases his defense significantly. So that's what I'm getting out of that. Pushes his defense up to 20, whereas normally defense is 15. And that will definitely help him stay alive. The reinvigoration will also be great. Unfortunately, my research is not the best. You can also have a Dwarven Hammer, so now all three of my Cyclopes have Dwarven Hammers. Is there anything else that's really, really useful that I could forge at the moment? Not a whole lot. Earth Boots. I could forge Earth Boots. That might actually be nice to forge some Earth Boots. This is an interesting item that Mekone has a reduced cost for. That gives fire, shock, and cold resistance, as well as pretty good protection. The downside is, it has a big defense penalty and a big map movement penalty. So there's that. That said, it is cheaper for Mekone, and it would give 10 cold resistance. So that's definitely a thought. Blue Dragon Scale Mail is the other elemental resistance item. Yeah, I don't really want you forging anything right at the moment. But you could... We could start summoning either Fire Drakes or Ogres. Fire Drakes can breathe fire, but otherwise are unimpressive. I'm trying to think of what I need to fight other giants, basically. Fires from afar won't really help. Clockwork Soldiers won't help all that much. Fire Drakes might be it. Either Fire Drakes or Ogres, I think. How much earth do you have? You have 2 earth. General Confusion has 6 earth. So to be honest, if I'm summoning ogres, I would be summoning them. I would be using General Confusion to summon them because he gets basically 1 ogre per gem. So let's do that. Then you research. You also research. I want to be recruiting either Archons or E4s. E4s are a lot cheaper, but less likely to be really useful. Actually, I may as well be recruiting Polemarches, because they're good enough combat casters. The problem is, I don't have the money for them. And the solution is to cut out recruitment of Helots. Gives me 167. I cannot cut recruitment up here. I need it. I also need to upgrade this fort, because it doesn't actually give me a bonus at the moment. Both of you guys need to be patrolling to try and keep unrest down. You can see how unrest really spikes at these forts. When my province defense isn't high enough to keep it suppressed. I don't know why unrest isn't spiking at this fort. Oh, because of the Forest of Joy, that's why. But in all my other forts, it is. It's like seriously spiking, and the only thing that can be done is try to patrol it away, which necessarily involves, you know, killing everybody. Actually, I don't want Molos to be the troop carrier, because he is weak and prone to run. So you guys just pull back a little bit. We're going to put those guys on fire closest mode. Those guys will just leave without orders for now. Summoning Earth Power, Legions of Steel, and then throwing Magical Blasts is what they're currently set up to do. We'll leave them at that for now. The unrest, unfortunately, means that income from all my fort provinces tanks, which is pretty much the opposite of what is supposed to happen at forts. I have to have 20 province defense in order to get 2 unrest reduction a month, which just isn't worth it. It's not worth that amount of money. Or rather, for Mekone, it generally is, but I really wish it wasn't. Can I get 195 gold somewhere? Because I desperately need to continue recruiting mages. No? Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... The army is going to Eremus. All of these guys will be in line formation. And they will attack, hold and attack the closest. Eremus will be right up with them, and he will, as usual, summon Earth Power, Legions of Steel, and then actually I'm just going to have him... I would like Iron Skin rather than Stone Skin, but Stone Skin will probably work against Hinnom. Actually, let's drop Strength of Giants from him too, and then he can attack. So we'll set him, yeah, right up there with the line. So hopefully the Strength of Giants will hit them before they get out of range. And then he'll be able to go in and start stabbing fools. You guys just fire and keep distance. I would also like to bring along some mages, but I would like them to be a little bit better at magery first. Evocation. Going up Evocation to level 5 would give me Falling Fires, which is probably a pretty good idea. So I might put off Enchantment a little ways. Well, but I want those summons. Magma Bolts will have to do for now. Let me see. So Magma Bolt is Earth Primary. That does more damage and longer range. I can, of course, summon lesser Earth Elementals, but that uses up precious, precious Earth Gems. So, in magical terms, I think it's probably... Let's pull these troops back for now. And you, we are going to set up to Earth Power and Magma Bolts. And we will also give that instruction to you. And then you, with the 3 fire, we are going to set up to... you can't summon Earth Power. You can summon Phoenix Power, which will boost your fire up a little bit so that Fireball costs even less fatigue. Fireball is not very precise, but it's a single square blast as opposed to the magma bolts that scatter all over the place. So we're going to give that instruction to you, and you, and you. So these two, you, and you, and you. That's a whole lot of my research power moving out, but I need it. You go down there. This army I have to stop. Unfortunately, I'm gonna need to concentrate all my troops to stop it. The Cedar Pillars and the Farm of Plenty, that's a pretty good province right there. That is Kailasa. Huh. This is the area that I really want to take away from Hinnom. I just kind of have to take this area away because this is like where we're fighting. I'm actually going to... I'm already not recruiting mages there. Woof. Or there. Kill you. Recruit the cap-only mages rather than E4s. They're better. Yeah, keep recruiting Archons forever, I guess. You can use Archons as commanders rather than Polemarches. I just like Polemarches more. So, I'm going to stack up province defense there as high as it will go, which is not very high. That's Avite Heavy Archers and Dawn Guards. This army, I think, needs to stay in place and defend. This army is going to take that back. Even with 3 Rephite warriors in there, this army can take them. While this army moves out, going to put 1 point of province defense there as a futile gesture. And over here, we do have 30 units in the garrison, so we're going to give them to this guy. Actually, no, not him. We're going to give him to this guy, who can at least cast spells in battle. And is less valuable because he's old and weakened. And have him move out. You may notice that our research is tanking. This is because we don't have enough money to actually keep recruiting mages. It's a serious, serious problem. This army needs to move north because we need to stop this army as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, 160 units are just going to run over our 26 units if we go in and face them without having a really, really solid plan. Well, this is ugly. I've got to abandon this province. I can't hold on to this. Not while this is sitting there waving at me. I mean, it's mainly, like, Markata warriors are a quarter of it. Markata archers, rather, which are totally unthreatening to me. But I've got to do something. I've also got to move my mages a little further back. Because at present, they are definitely at risk of taking an arrow to the dome. Because they're too close to my troops. So, all these guys need to, yeah, take out that on your way. Architolum, they can't hit you this turn, so just, yeah, take that back. And then we'll kind of have to see where it goes. We've got to get rid of this army. We don't have another choice. Up here, Depolos can move out, actually, rather than patrolling, because I need him to start taking provinces back from Kailasa. That is of primary importance, because I desperately need income. Which means I need these provinces right there. So let's see how that goes. Okay, we've hit construction level 5. We've summoned some ogres. There was a battle in Sodorth where we destroyed the province defense. Where's Sodorth? Sodorth is right there, okay. There was a battle in Myreni where we also destroyed province defense. Okay, so we've taken that back. They've taken the forest. That was Robberhome. Yeah, their army just ran over province defense. There was a battle in Zox, where we lost a few Helot Peltasts, but we took Zox back from Kailasa. In Yildmire, an entire village was devoured by vine men, and of course we had no defenses there, so now it's just vine men everywhere. Excellent. Great. I love it. This army backed off for reasons that I frankly do not understand. I'm not claiming the Throne of Pestilence again just yet. I may at some later time here, but we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. So I've just recruited another Archon, or Rontes. Sthenelos. Take all those guys. I could also take the Giants instead of the Peltasts. Let's do that. So, they can be in line formation because E4s are actually good commanders. They have low leadership, but they give a morale bonus, and they have up to 3 squads, which means we can line our troops up like this. We'll just have them attack closest, and we don't have to dedicate like a real leader to doing this. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to take 4 of the ogres and have them guard commander. That doesn't count as a squad, doesn't do anything that a squad has to do. You can only have 5 units in it, but 4 ogres just to keep him safe in case somebody comes after him. And with those troops, we are going to try and stop this army. I want to keep these troops in Moreni in case they double back. Let's keep chasing these guys north. This army can move up this way. This army can take this field for the income, the sweet, delicious income that I love so very, very much, and I have so very little of. Over here, we can still recruit giant hoplites. And in fact, we can still recruit Helot. Actually, we're not recruiting giant hoplites. We're recruiting strictly Helot hoplites because in terms of gold to resource allocation, they are probably like the best unit ever. The best unit in the game. The best unit possibly in the world. I can recruit one of them here. And that's it. I'll queue up 2 for fun. This army actually move down that way, and then have that army move down there. If he doubles north into Ashlands, that's okay. It has almost no income anyway. And taking on 10 province defense, he probably will take some casualties. So I'm alright if he moves in that direction. But I need income so badly. That's all I can do this turn. We will hit construction level 6 in a long time. Like, really a long time. In fact, I may recruit an E4 instead there, just to save some money. Oh, General Confusion is doing nothing. What did General Confusion just do? Oh, he just summoned ogres, that's right. Keep summoning ogres, actually. Alright, Hinnom has a new prophet. Healer of the Lands, Lord of the Rock, the Earth Monster, interestingly. There was a battle in Anphalia, where we hit actually a Kailasan army, as well as province defense, a small Kailasan army, and we won. We did lose some more Helot Peltasts, but they exist only to die, and we don't care about them at all. We did kill their Yaksha, which is a fantastic victory, because Yakshas are expensive mages, and I love to kill them whenever possible. Let's view that battle real quick. I'm just kind of skimming through these battles because I basically know how they're going to go most of the time. So it looks like he cast Legions of Steel. Yeah, Dianita is casting Legions of Steel, which won't actually help his troops much because they don't really have much armor. Yeah, where did he even cast it? I think he cast it on the archers. Doesn't help the archers much. They do have that big old bless, but that's also not going to help them much. So the magic's coming in. I just blasted some of my own helots into the netherworld. But the giants are swarming around the flanks, and everyone's dead, and everyone's running away, and you are fatigued out at exactly the wrong time. So you get stabbed in the naked semi-divine belly with giant spears. In Robber Home, did we catch them? Let's see. Did they stick around to be stabbed? They did. They did stick around. Ooh, I wonder if this army is enough to deal with that. I mean, my giants are better, but they're not that much better than the Avites. And he has a whole bunch of province defense as well as these Rephite warriors. And Rephite warriors are actually better than my hoplites. So we're summoning Earth Power. They're throwing archers at us. We've got Legions of Steel up, so our protection is at an all-time high. We may be able to do this. Especially if we can isolate the Rephites like that. That was exactly what I want to see. That was also pretty much what I want to see. Okay, we've got one of the Rephite warriors down. The magma bolts are helping. The hoplites are holding. Oh, what are you doing? Their prophet is just coming in for the gusto. The Disco Boluses are actually not bad in melee, so they're holding their own. They just tend to... And the Kohen's dead. The Kohen's dead, and the armies are routing. What killed him? Was it the fireball? I didn't even see. 1 second. Let me look at the battle unit overview. The Kohen. Giant hoplites hitting him. No, one of my hoplites stabbed him to death because he has practically no armor. Yeah, protection roll. Well, he has 16. I mean, he has 16 protection. That's not no armor. But against giant spears, that's more than what will do it. Okay, so he was stabbed to death by the hoplites and died. And it looks like I haven't lost any of my hoplites. Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I lost 5 Discoboluses, and I wiped out the army. And I found a chainmail of displacement, which is fantastic. The Rephite warriors, 2 of them got away. A lot of the army got away, 5 of the Avite spearmen and 2 of the Rephite warriors, but I don't think they had anywhere to retreat to. In Keban, on the other hand, let's see how this went. Yeah, okay, so this is the big army attacking nothing. I think we can all see how this is going to go. Brave little lion tribe, they did their best. Not that Neo-Demode commander, though. He said, see ya, let's get out of here. Yeah, no casualties whatsoever. And in Witch Haven, we reconquered, including killing a Horite shaman, which is great. In Satalia, autumn. So the war has been declared upon the Helots, and unrest has increased worldwide, which is exactly what I need. Okay. So, we've reestablished our borders. We've got some great magic sites in here, actually. That is... Wow, I love this province. I want to keep this province forever. This province contains about 30 enemy units. Keban? No, Keban contains about 60 enemy units. It contains about 30 Avite swordsmen alone. Huh. Yeah, if it was 30 enemy units, I would absolutely go in with this army, especially knowing, as I do now, that my giant hoplites are more than capable of taking on that many of their giants. But, as it is, nah. I am definitely going to keep summoning ogres, though, because recruitment, just like bog standard regular recruitment, is massacring me. We've got 10 defense there. I need to have 10 defense here to scare off these assholes. Pardon my French. keep moving them out. This province has 11 province defense, so these two armies now need to combine right there. We'll just mash them together, and hopefully we can take out that Doomstack. I don't care about the Shambler Reef. I do care about this province because it has reasonable... It's actually not that much income. I really wish it was a lot more income. That province will have a high population, but I don't really want to go to war for it. Carrion Mire. Yeah, let's take Carrion Mire. We might as well. That's a temple I'd like to destroy, but I'm not really too worried about it right at the moment. With Unrest 121, we cannot recruit any troops here. Unrest 85, we can still recruit here. But, of course, not much. And down here, Unrest has gone up. It's a mess. It's just a mess. Everywhere. That yearly Unrest spike is murderous. Especially when it combines with your already low income. Like, look, my income right now is 740. Why? Because my forts are making so little money. Like, your capital normally makes like 300, something like that. My income is garbage. Absolute garbage. And there just isn't a whole lot I can do about it, to be honest. Especially not with Unrest going up worldwide to tank my income even further. I can't afford an army. I can't afford mages. Which is a real problem, and I would say that's especially a real problem for this nation. What you may end up having to do is lean almost entirely on Helot Hoplites, because, where is it? Yeah, because Helot Hoplites have an upkeep cost of 3 per year. 1 gold every 4 months. And they're tough. I mean, they're not going to win any prizes for actually killing the enemy, except, I mean, they do have Formation Fighter, so they get 4 attacks per square. But with Protection 17, most human troops are not going to be able to stop them. So, probably my strategy of trying to rely on the giants is bad. Probably what you're going to need is you're going to need almost entirely helots, which is appropriate. I mean, it's Sparta. You're having a very, very small warrior class is kind of the thing. That said, I really love having the helots. Man, this guy is just suffering. I love having the giant armies, but, you know, one Gigante Hoplite has an upkeep cost of, like, 9 Helot Hoplites. 32 per year, as opposed to... What was it again? Yeah, 3 per year. I'm sorry, 11 Hoplites, almost. You could have 11 of these guys for the cost of 1 giant, and honestly, I think 11 Helots is probably going to beat 1 giant pretty much all the time, just by chipping him down if nothing else. Now that said, having the giants for dealing with other giants is fantastic, not gonna lie. So, that's gonna be my turn this turn. I just kind of have to re-establish control. Probably what you need as Mekone is you desperately need a higher order dominion, is what I'm thinking. Because Unrest just screws you tremendously. If you have Order 3 and Productivity 3, you might be able to deal with it just because you get 3 extra Unrest production every turn, and you get all the extra resources. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of have to work it out. Anyway, let's go a couple more turns and see how this pans out. General Confusion stopped summoning ogres again. Summon more ogres, please. I'm building up ogres. Ogres, of course, cost no gold, so having them instead of actual troops, probably a pretty good idea. Also, the Helot Peltasts cost 3 gold per year, just like the Helot Hoplites, so probably the Helot Hoplites is the better bet. And the Ectremoy cost the same thing. Okay, in Gold Mountains, aha, we caught a small army. With our small army. But our small army is much, much better. So we've summoned Earth Power and Phoenix Power and all this stuff, and we are about to lay down the proverbial smack with our evocations. Yep, that's some smack being laid down, alright. Fireballs and magma bolts galore. Yep, good job. Did you cast Fire Shield on yourself? Or are you just on fire? Oh, no, you're on fire because these Mazics attacked, and somebody threw a fireball at one of them. Yeah, honestly, this is a reason why I really like having the giant hoplites, because if I hit them with a fireball by accident, they don't care. If these were all Helat hoplites up in the front line, I'd be taking so many casualties from friendly fire. But with the giants in the front line, it's just like, yeah, sure. Throw fireballs into the melee. Can't hurt us. We won't die no matter what happens to us, pretty much. Okay, so, we won. We did lose an E4, I think, to archery, because I was mispositioned. We killed the Kohen. We did not kill the Kedesim or the Kedesot, but that's fine. I don't care about them. What else did we kill? The Avite heavy archers got away, but we killed the Dawn Guard and we killed the Mazics. In Carrion Mire, we attacked and we destroyed Kailasa. We lost a whole bunch of Helat Peltasts and 3 of our 4 Disco Boluses, but once again, the Giant Hoplites and the Polemarch came through just fine. In Aldgold, we wiped out these Avite Spearmen and Rephites. And in Melma, Hinnom sent in a small army including ogres and ran over our province defense. The comet has struck Jelenia Gora. The impact could be seen from the other side of the world. The province has been devastated and most of the population annihilated. Magic site found. Jelenia Gora? Jelenia Gora now has a huge crater that produces gems. Fine. Great. I'll take it. I don't care about it. Population, who cares? I'm a cruel and uncaring god. I may start recruiting Gerontes just because I can. Because at least there'll be research. Yeah, start recruiting Gerontes. I need that. That research is not ticking up because I literally cannot afford mages. You go over there. You go over there. I'm barely putting province defense into these places because, like I said, I can't afford it. This army is staying still. This army can take on 70 units, I think. I think it can. So we're gonna do this thing. So you're attacking, you're casting spells. Do I want you casting spells? Do I want you to add to the spell barrage, or do I want you to fight? Let's add to the spell barrage, and let's cast fireballs, because, of course, fireballs do not bother my troops, like, at all. 16 armor-piercing damage. Armor-piercing ignores half of protection, but what that means is, you know, half of 23 is still like 12. So they still have a pretty decent chance to ignore all the damage. And even if some damage gets through, it won't kill them with 30 hit points. So Magma Bolt is better for killing giants in general, but specifically, they're better for killing my giants, whereas against the relatively lower protection Hinnomite giants, fireballs can still do pretty decent work. Okay, I've got 60 units in the army here. But I don't have a good leader for them. I really don't want to send out more mages, because more mages just means, oh hey, yeah, that's right, you picked up Chainmail of Displacement. Sending out more mages, of course, means my research tanks even further, which doesn't help me. Akamas, I need you to go, like, up there and research. Do something useful with your life. That is a big army. A big army that probably this army can't deal with at this point. So we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna not even. There's too many threats is the problem that I'm running into. I can pretty much defend my borders down here and eliminate invaders, but what I haven't been able to do yet is solidly push them back, which is what I need to do. I need to destroy this army and then march this way and down into Hinnom with this army. And ideally, I also need to bring this army and these two armies over this way to join them and lay siege to that fort. So I'm gonna have to do it. So we're gonna take all these guys and we're going to give them to, actually, research-wise, it would be best to give them to a Cyclops. Because the Cyclops has enough leadership for all of them. Ah, but he does not have morale bonuses, and he can only lead 2 squads. Screw it, we're gonna do it anyway. Oh, he can't even give them line formation. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Okay. Orontes, you are getting some troops. Great, we'll leave those guys here for now. You guys form a line. Attack the closest. You guys form a line. Attack the closest, and you spam fireballs. Okay, so Orontes will join the fray with his troops. And hopefully, we'll be able to do some work with that. General confusion, you just go back to researching, please. I need research desperately. I'm really so super happy that Niflheim is content to sit in their fort. I would like them to do that forever. I think they might be trying to summon their god back, which will take a long time, and that's great. They can do that just as long as they want. Alright, one more turn. We'll see if we can't take this guy out and kind of stabilize the situation. I would move him down, but he'll get run over, so... Well, actually, Avite swordsmen and spearmen are kind of crappy against Giganti hoplites. Especially really experienced Giganti hoplites like these, because these are all like 2 or 3 stars of experience. If I change this to fireballs... it's a bad idea. We're gonna bring Mulios in too. Okay. Actually, instead of Legions of Steel, I need you to cast Strength of Giants. And I need you both to kind of be in the center of the line. So there, they're both gonna summon Earth Power. They're both gonna buff. And you hold and fire at the closest enemy. And then they'll go charging in. Okay, let's see how that works. Alright, Sodorth has been conquered by the enemy. There was a battle in Melma. So we are attacking Hinnom. It's a small army. And this is a large army. Including a lot of mercenary macemen. Somehow I feel like this might have gone badly. They do have a lot of archers. So I'm sure it went badly for the Discoboluses. For the hoplites, actually, archers don't really matter. Okay, he's summoning lesser fire elementals, which also don't matter greatly. But I think the hoplites might just get overwhelmed by numbers, to be honest. Let's see, though. They are holding like champions. They're not showing much sign of getting overwhelmed by numbers. Holy crap. I persistently underestimate giant hoplites. Like, I am legitimately impressed right now. I did not think that battle was winnable, and they won the shit out of it. Holy crap. They lost 4 of their number for 40 kills, primarily giants. Yeah. They absolutely did that. I'm impressed. I'm more impressed than I thought I was. I mean, half this army was macemen, and looking at it, 16 damage. I thought blunt damage was extra effective against armor. I actually don't remember if that's true now that I think about it, but 16 damage against 23 protection is bad odds, and then with that many hit points, they just tanked it. They just soldiered on through it. Wow. Good job, guys. In Keban. That makes me happy. They did move out of Keban. So this big ol' army is like, doing nothing, really. But I'm going to annihilate this province defense in a spectacular display of firepower. Like, wow. I'm gonna burn my own troops to death for no reason. It's funny because my troops take almost no damage from that. Okay. In Mekone, I was attacked in Mekone. So let's see how this went. So this is a little Hinnomite army. Oh, this went very badly for them because I moved those troops in. I knew they were going to do this. I knew it. So it's ogre versus ogre. Hot ogre on ogre action. With all the hoplites involved as well. And my ogres win because they have all these giant hoplites backing them up. So, yeah, no casualties. And in Amphalia, I was attacked and I had just left because I was scared to death of this army. So this is a fraction of that army, and they lost a wolf, but that's all. Okay, the Crypteon has ended in a remarkable bloodshed. An exceptional Cryptes responsible for the deaths of several Helot soldiers was elected and rewarded for his deeds. 47 experience. In Belmar, 20 experience. Ah, okay, so the experience that they get is random. Oh, and we got the skull of a legendary mage. And of course, unrest has dropped in all of our forts, so my income has once again gone up. Except for Belmar. Why not Belmar? Why does Belmar still have all this unrest, huh? I want you to patrol. Honestly, I'm thinking probably the use for Cryptes rather than using them as assassins. I'm feeling like using them as patrollers is probably what you want to do. Because, I mean, they have a patrol bonus of 15, so you desperately, desperately need patrollers as Mekone. Okay, so they moved to Yildmire. So they're definitely trying to dodge me, which is fair. Alright, I'm going to end this episode here. We're a little bit stagnant at the moment just because, it's mainly because of the income situation. We can't support armies and mages, and you need both of those things to be successful in Dominions. So, what I need to do is I need to make distinct forward progress. In the sense that I have got to just push. And like this army, I'm going to have to keep chasing around with my big bad force here. This is very small for a big bad force, but it definitely is. Actually, I'm going to kill these Baals. I'm not even going to fight that army. It's going to rampage around my lands, and instead of fighting it, I am going to take out enemy positions. So this army can only take one province at a time unless it fragments. And while it is going around taking out one province at a time, I'm going to be going around taking out 2 or 3 enemy provinces at a time. This army... That army can take those Horites. You actually stay here and defend. Actually patrol. Cut the unrest down. Squeeze a little bit more income out of it. And this province I'm going to dump some defense in. They do have heavy infantry and heavy cavalry, so they'll be able to inflict some casualties if those guys move north. I would like to keep the Gorge and the Standing Stones for the Earth Gem income. And alright, I think that's going to be it, guys. I will see you in the next Mekone episode, where hopefully we will take the war to Hinnom and push him back a little bit. See you then.